future, here, now, to share some deals which are new to both of us.
Are you crazy? $64.99? You're gonna break out the wallet again? I gotta break out the wallet for this one. I mean, it's the price of pretty much a current gen game, and it's in... This is something that would normally go for $200. I gotta buy it. I gotta buy it. But first I gotta check out what else they have in their store. Hello. Alright, got it all taped up. And I'm such a cheapskate that I like to reuse these things when I can. Maybe I will have to use the knife after all. This was shipped to the Amazon warehouse and then to me. Let's get it out of there. It needs to breathe. Wow, that is sharp. Look at that. I don't think I ever saw this game out in the wild. I kind of got it confused one time, and I was at a flea market. I saw Shadow Blasters, and it has the same kind of awful, horror bad, cheesy kind of cover, but not too much of a bad smell. Genesis games do tend to suck up odor. You know what? Because you can't be too sure. I don't know where this person got the game. I looked through the store, they had a bunch of other crap I didn't want. But, you know, other games, but they were just very low priced items. But that looks legit to me. So, a small scratch on the pin there, but nonetheless, solid. Representing Retro Game Nova is a whole suite of games today, and that's because his channel covers techniques on how to defeat bosses in different games. Certainly specializing in Sega Genesis games. These are some of the ones he's covered so far, but you know, he may branch out in the future. His channel kind of reminds me of like the tips and tricks or cheat code section of a magazine you read back in the day, but in video form, obviously. And in fact, I feel like I've seen stuff like this before in those older video game TV shows like Electric Playground. They might have had a segment like his for cheat codes and stuff. So yeah, go check out his channel. Maybe it'll provide you some insight on how to defeat certain boss, or stay tuned. You might have something you'd be some game you're looking forward to in the future. I don't know. Check it out. There's this fly going around, and it's not a normal fly. It's just this huge, monstrous fly the size of a grapefruit. It was terrorizing me all last night. I haven't seen him today yet. I was thinking maybe he got sucked in the compressor on my fridge, but I don't know. I'm probably exaggerating a bit on the size. It's not like a grapefruit. It's more like the size of a cherry tomato, but like a mutant Frankenstein monster cherry tomato. I was thinking, like, who mates with this thing? You know? A normal fly versus this guy. I mean, I don't know if that's possible. It can't be. I mean, this guy is he's foregone the main animal instinct for just becoming this monstrous god of a fly. I think he eats other flies, because I couldn't imagine how much shit he'd have to eat to get that big. So, it may disturb our video, but I'm prepared. Who needs a fly swatter when you've got power? Does anyone remember this piece of junk at Funkoland? It's like a 13-inch set. I think they were selling it for like 150 bucks. I looked at the back, which I never did back then. It only has freaking RF and composite, not even S-video. What a piece of junk. What are you doing, Shelf? $64? This isn't the thrifting way. At the same time, This normally goes for $200 complete. And in this condition, I mean, it's like it's been pulled right off the store shelf from, what was it, 1992, 91, whenever this game came out. Place that back in there the correct way. Look at that cover art. I mean, in those outfits you'd expect to see some nips. Like the back glass on a Valley pinball.
Like getting things as cheap as possible, you know? We all do, right? A few bucks here, a few bucks there. I view this stuff as disposable entertainment. I'll get to it when I get to it. Point is, when the market tanks, I don't want to feel like I overpaid. You know, that instant when I was signing this, I'm thinking like, I don't know when that's going to happen. And in this condition, the completeness and all, it's just, I couldn't ignore this deal.
Vic Tokai. Valuable information and communication. I did not know that was an acronym. I guess Tokai is someone's name. Although Vic Tokai could be somebody's name, and then they just decided to make the first name into an acronym. Where the heck did these guys go? I mean, their name was everywhere back in the day. Bump and Jump. I know it's a Data East game, but at least it was published by Vic Tokai on the NES. Gogol 13, and I think Cryon Conquest. I think that is the Vic Tokai label on it. They were everywhere. If you look into them, you wouldn't be surprised how much their name is attached to things.
It's a shame these guys didn't make any more shooters, because they're really good at it. This game, its sequel, which I'll get to, and Whip Rush, I can't think of any more right now at the top of my head, but I know they did more. Yeah, that sequel, whew. That's expensive. I mean, I'm really glad they brought over this game, and it probably bombed because of its cover art, hence why they didn't bring over the sequel. But even if they did, I know the game would probably be very elusive and expensive, and but yeah, it's just pretty much the reason I'll only play that game in an emulator. It plays like a comedy anime, but in shooter form. There's a lot of polish to it. There's these intro and intro cutscenes to each stage. It's got this story that's worthwhile and entertaining. I know some people, they complain when there's story elements in shooter. They just want to get straight to the action. This dialogue, it doesn't drag, you know. It's not. It doesn't take itself too seriously. Each stage plays like an episode, and though it's a comedy, the levels aren't bombastic like a Parodius game. But the bosses are pretty zany. I mean, the first boss, he's this giant red robot he acts like this arrogant pop star, blowing and kisses and waving his hands to an imaginary audience, all the while mocking you. And there's another boss that's doesn't make any sense, but a robot that's on an exercise bike and that's powering this giant spaceship. And it's just, to me, that's more fascinating than your typical giant block of a ship that's shooting missiles or lasers at you. And I don't know, maybe I'd seen enough of that already by this time. And Raiden was out, you know, whatever you want to call it, is Raiden. But that game was out already with this giant homing laser going on, so which is pretty cool. But you know, I've seen enough of those kinds of games, so maybe that's why I find these boss fights so fascinating, just because they're more complex and interesting. There's multiple parts to them. Plays like a horizontal shooter, but it has vertical parts to it as well, similar to R-Type. You have these two girls. They can you can swap directions which they're firing, and they have these jetpacks which allow them to fly around. But they also act as their weapon system, and you can swap them out at the end of each stage. So, oh yeah, there's an Easter egg. So, you know, when you're picking your different jetpacks, which changes up the type of weapon fire you have, there's one of the little jetpacks in there is the ship from Whip Rush, which I thought was pretty cool. I don't know when this game was made in relation to Whip Rush, but it probably was made around the same time. I mean, they're both for the Genesis. So I think I whet your appetite enough. I don't have to spoil the game for you, so yeah. It's out there, now go get it.
Oh, you're still here? Great. Remember that Mario box I picked up in ULTS Future 3? Don't remember that? Watch the video here. If you are interested in trading with me, I can send you more pics, videos, whatever you need. And as always, thank you for watching.